I stared at the termination letter, my hands shaking. Mr. Wellington's office felt cold as ice. My wife Lisa sat across the room, calm as still water. Her father, Victor Wellington, CEO of Wellington Tech, cleared his throat. "Blake, your performance has been disappointing," he said. "We're letting you go, effective immediately. 3 years of perfect reviews. 3 years of 60-hour weeks. Gone." Lisa wouldn't meet my eyes. She studied her manicured nails like they held the secrets of the universe. Something clicked in my brain. This wasn't random. This was planned. "Lisa knew about this," I said, my voice barely a whisper. Victor's smile was sharp as a knife. "My daughter understands business better than you ever will." The room spun around me. My own wife. The woman I'd married 2 years ago. The woman who promised to love me forever. She'd sold me out to Daddy. Security appeared at the door. 2 big guys in cheap suits. They escorted me out like a criminal. Past my coworkers. Past my office. Past my life. As the elevator doors closed, I heard Lisa's voice echo through the lobby. "You'll understand someday, Blake." I drove home in a fog. My mind kept replaying the scene. Lisa's cold stare. Victor's smug grin. The security guards treating me like garbage. Our house looked different somehow. Smaller. Like it was shrinking away from me. I tried my key. It didn't work. Lisa opened the door. She wore her favorite blue dress, the one I'd bought her for our anniversary. She looked beautiful and terrible at the same time. "The locks are changed," she said simply. "Lisa, what's going on? Why did you do this to me?" She stepped aside. My belongings sat in cardboard boxes on the front lawn. 2 years of marriage. Reduced to garbage bags and old boxes. "Daddy never liked you, Blake. He said you were using me to get into our world. Now you're out. Forever." The neighbors watched from their windows. Mrs. Ayres watered her flowers but kept glancing over. The whole street knew I was being thrown out like trash. As I loaded boxes into my car, something caught my eye. A manila folder had fallen from one box. Email printouts scattered on the grass. Lisa's name was on every page. I sat in my car reading the emails. Each one felt like a punch to the gut. Lisa and Victor had planned everything. Every detail. Every move. "Blake suspects nothing," Lisa had written. "He thinks he's safe because of our marriage." Victor's reply made my blood boil. "The inheritance laws are clear. If he's employed by Wellington Tech when I die, he could claim part of the company. We can't risk it." But the worst part came next. They mentioned something called the dream job. A position at Aurora Innovations. A job meant for someone named Damien. Lisa's brother. I'd met him once at Christmas. Spoiled rich kid who'd never worked a day in his life. "Damien will get the Aurora position once Blake is gone," Victor had written. "Everything is arranged." Aurora Innovations. The company I'd dreamed of working for since college. The tech giant that was changing the world. They'd planned to give my dream job to that worthless kid. I folded the papers and started my car. My hands weren't shaking anymore. They wanted me powerless. They wanted me broken. They picked the wrong man to destroy. I called Julie Delpy from a coffee shop downtown. She'd been my best friend since college. Now she worked as an investigative journalist for the city paper. "Blake? You sound terrible. What happened?" I told her everything. The firing. Lisa's betrayal. The emails about the inheritance. Julie was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "Blake, I've been digging into Victor Wellington for months. There's something dark there. Something he's hiding. What kind of something? His business deals aren't clean. But I can't prove it yet. We met at her apartment an hour later. She showed me files. Financial records. Photos of Victor meeting with shady politicians. This goes deep, Blake. If you go after this family, they'll try to destroy you completely. I looked at the evidence spread across her table. Victor Wellington wasn't just a successful businessman. He was a criminal hiding behind expensive suits and charity galas. Julie, they already destroyed me. I have nothing left to lose. She grabbed my arm. That's not true. You have your life. Your future. Don't throw it away for revenge. But revenge tasted sweet in my mouth. Julie's research revealed everything about the Aurora position. Chief Technology Officer. 6-figure salary. Stock options worth millions. The job I'd applied for 3 times and never gotten. Damien Wellington has no qualifications, Julie said, reading from her laptop. Business degree from Daddy's alma mater. Never held a real job. But Aurora's board thinks he's a genius because Victor recommended him. When does he start? Next week. It's basically guaranteed. I stared out her window at the city skyline. Somewhere out there, Damien was probably celebrating. Planning his bright future in my dream job. What if I applied? I asked. Julie looked at me like I'd lost my mind. Blake, you just got fired. Your reputation is mud. Plus, they already chose Damien. But what if I applied under a different name? Used my mother's maiden name? That's fraud, Blake. Maybe it was. But Lisa had committed fraud too. She'd forged documents to get me fired. She'd lied to protect dirty money. If they wanted to play dirty, I could play dirty too. If they wanted me powerless, I whispered, they chose the wrong job to steal. Blake Michaels didn't exist on paper. But my mother's maiden name did. I created new email accounts. Updated my resume with a fake address. Changed my appearance with glasses and different clothes. The Aurora application process was brutal. 3 rounds of interviews. Technical tests. Background checks that made me sweat. But I was brilliant at what I did. Victor had fired me for political reasons, not performance issues. My code was perfect. My ideas were revolutionary. The hiring manager, a woman named Patricia Burns, loved my work. Michaels, you're exactly what we need, she said after my final interview. Fresh thinking. Real innovation. I walked out of Aurora Tower feeling alive for the first time in weeks. That same afternoon, I saw him. Damien Wellington stepped out of a black car in front of the building. He wore a $1,000 suit and looked like he owned the world. He strutted through the lobby like a king visiting his kingdom. Employees nodded and smiled. Some probably knew he was their future boss. Damien stopped at the security desk. I'm here for my meeting with the board, he announced loudly. He expected his coronation. His guaranteed victory. He had no idea what was coming. The boardroom felt like a battlefield. I sat at one end of the long table. Damien sat at the other. Between us, 12 board members would decide our fate. Patricia presented my portfolio first. My code samples. My vision for Aurora's future. Questions came fast, but I answered every one perfectly. Then came Damien's turn. He stumbled through a presentation he'd obviously memorized. His ideas were stolen from tech blogs. His code samples were basic student work. The board members exchanged glances. Whispers. Raised eyebrows. Mr. Michaels, said the CEO, your proposal for quantum computing integration is brilliant. When can you start? Immediately, I replied. Damien's face turned red as a tomato. Wait. This is wrong. My father promised me this position. We had an agreement. The CEO frowned. Mr. Wellington, we make hiring decisions based on merit, not family connections. Security escorted a raging Damien from the building. Through the conference room windows, I watched him make angry phone calls in the parking lot. My phone buzzed. Text message from an unknown number. You don't know the game you just entered, son. Victor Wellington. I smiled and deleted the message. My first week at Aurora was perfect. Until Damien struck back. I arrived Monday morning to find my project team acting strange. They avoided eye contact. Whispered in corners. Someone had gotten to them. My assistant, a young guy named Jeff, finally told me the truth. Sir, someone offered the team bonuses to make you look bad. To sabotage your quantum computing project. Who? Damien Wellington. He said you stole his job. I felt rage building in my chest. But anger wouldn't help me now. I needed to be smart. Jeff, gather the team. I have a new assignment for everyone. That afternoon, I presented Damien's bribery attempts to the CEO. I had recordings. Evidence. Proof that Victor Wellington's son was trying to destroy Aurora from the inside. The CEO was furious. We'll file charges against the Wellington family. No, I said. Let me handle this my way. As I left the CEO's office, I found someone waiting in mine. Lisa sat in my chair, smiling like nothing had happened. Congratulations, darling, she purred. You always were clever. Lisa wore a red dress that hugged every curve. The same dress she'd worn on our first date. She knew exactly what she was doing. I missed you, Blake, she said, standing slowly. The house feels empty without you. Cut the act, Lisa. What do you want? She moved closer. Her perfume filled the air. The same scent that used to drive me crazy. Daddy made me do it. The firing. The divorce papers. All of it. Tears formed in her eyes. Perfect crystal tears. He said if I didn't help, he'd cut me off completely. So you chose money over love. I chose survival, Blake. You don't know what my family is capable of. She reached for my hand. Her skin was soft and warm. For a second, I almost believed her. Then I remembered the emails. Her words, Blake suspects nothing. I pressed record on my phone, hidden in my jacket pocket. Tell me about the inheritance laws, I said gently. What inheritance laws? The ones that would give me part of Wellington Tech if I was still married to you when Victor dies. Her face changed. The mask slipped for just a moment. You recorded this conversation, didn't you? She whispered. Maybe. She leaned close, her lips near my ear. You'll regret crossing me, Blake. Julie's new research changed everything. We met at midnight in an abandoned parking garage, like spies in a movie. Blake, this is bigger than we thought, she said, handing me a thick folder. Victor's empire is built on dirty money. The documents were devastating. Victor had taken bribes from foreign governments. He'd sold military secrets. His company was basically a front for international crime. If this gets out, the whole Wellington family will be destroyed, Julie said. I flipped through page after page of evidence. Bank records. Secret meetings. Payoffs to politicians. Lisa will lose everything, I said quietly. Is that a problem? I thought about my wife. Ex-wife. The woman who'd betrayed me for money. The woman who'd destroyed my life to protect her family's secrets. Blake, this could bring down half the politicians in the state. Maybe the country. Part of me felt sick. Lisa was guilty, but she was also a victim of Victor's crimes. She'd grown up in this world of lies and corruption. But another part of me felt nothing but cold satisfaction. Julie, they tried to destroy me. They stole my job. My marriage. My whole life. So now you destroy them? Now I give them what they deserve. The governor's charity gala was the social event of the year. All the important people would be there. Including the Wellington family. I bought a tuxedo with my first Aurora paycheck. I looked good. Professional. Successful. The ballroom was full of politicians, business leaders, and old money families. Everyone who was anyone in the state. I found Damien at the bar, already drunk and loud. Blake Michaels, he slurred. The nobody who stole my job. People started staring. Phones came out. In today's world, every embarrassing moment could go viral. Hello, Damien, I said calmly. How's the job search going? His face turned purple with rage. You're a fraud. A fake. Everyone here should know what kind of man you really are. More people gathered around us. The crowd grew larger. What kind of man am I, Damien? A liar. A cheat. You probably forged your resume. I smiled and pulled out my phone. Actually, I have something interesting to show everyone. On the screen was the recording of Damien trying to bribe my team. His voice echoed through the ballroom speakers. The crowd gasped. Business leaders stepped away from him like he had a disease. From the balcony above, I saw Victor Wellington watching us. He began to clap slowly, like he was impressed. Victor's dinner invitation came the next day. Handwritten on expensive paper. The Falcon Club. 8 p.m. Come alone. The Falcon Club was where powerful men made deals in dark corners. I'd never been inside before. Victor waited in a private dining room. Expensive wine. Prime steaks. The full treatment. You're impressive, Blake, he said, cutting his meat with surgical precision. Most men would have crawled away by now. I'm not most men. No, you're not. He sipped his wine. Which is why I'm going to make you an offer. He slid an envelope across the table. Inside was a check for $5 million. Resign from Aurora. Disappear. Take Lisa back if you want. Start fresh somewhere else. And if I refuse? Victor's smile was cold as winter. Then you'll learn what real power looks like. I tore the check into small pieces. Let them flutter to the expensive carpet like snow. Mr. Wellington, I've seen your real power. I know about the bribes. The foreign agents. The military secrets you sold. For the first time, Victor looked genuinely surprised. You don't know what you're playing with, son. Maybe not. But I know what you are. A criminal hiding behind charity galas and expensive suits. Victor's facade cracked. His eyes turned cold and dead. Then you've chosen war, Blake. The headlines hit every major news outlet the next morning. Aurora Innovations CTO linked to financial fraud. Blake Michaels, genius or criminal? Tech executive's dark past exposed. Every story painted me as a cheater, a liar, a fraud. Anonymous sources claimed I'd stolen code. Forged documents. Embezzled money from previous employers. My phone rang constantly. Reporters. Aurora board members. People I'd never met asking if the stories were true. The Aurora CEO called an emergency meeting. Blake, we need to discuss your employment status. I sat in his office while he read from a prepared statement. Legal words about reputation and company image. Sir, none of these allegations are true, I said. Can you prove that? Before I could answer, Julie burst through the office door. She was out of breath, holding a thick folder. Blake. I have proof. Lisa paid for all these stories. I found the financial records. The payments to journalists. Everything. The CEO's expression changed. Are you saying this is a coordinated attack? Julie spread documents across his desk. Bank transfers. Email chains. Contracts with tabloid reporters. Lisa Wellington orchestrated this entire smear campaign, she said. She's trying to destroy Blake's career. I leaked Lisa's emails anonymously to every major news outlet. Let the world see her manipulations. Her lies. Her casual cruelty. The stories flipped overnight. Wellington heiress orchestrates smear campaign. Lisa Wellington, the woman who destroyed her OWN husband. Inside the Wellington family's war on truth. But Lisa was smarter than I'd given her credit for. She held a press conference that afternoon. Standing behind a podium, tears streaming down her face, she told the world her story. I'm a victim of domestic abuse, she said, her voice breaking. Blake Michaels is obsessed with destroying my family. These emails were taken out of context. She was brilliant. Evil, but brilliant. My husband has been stalking me since our divorce. He's dangerous. Unstable. I fear for my safety. Public opinion shifted again. Lisa became the victim. I became the crazy ex-husband. My phone buzzed. Text from Damien, emergency board meeting. Aurora Tower. Now. I drove to Aurora wondering if I still had a job. In the parking garage, Damien was waiting by my car. His hands were balled into fists. You destroyed my sister, he snarled. Your sister destroyed herself. She's family. You're nobody. He swung at me. Missed. Swung again. Security cameras caught everything as I defended myself. Damien fought like an angry child. All rage, no skill. I'd taken boxing classes in college. He'd taken trust fund management. His wild punches hit nothing but air. Mine connected with his jaw, his ribs, his ego. Security arrived as he hit the ground. Blood on his lips. Tears in his eyes. You're finished, he gasped. My family will destroy you. The security guards helped him to his feet. Sir, do you want to press charges? Yes. Arrest him. But the security cameras told the truth. Damien had thrown the first punch. I just finished the fight. Police arrived. Paramedics checked Damien for serious injuries. He was fine, just humiliated. They arrested him for assault. I watched from my office window as they put him in the back of a squad car. That evening, I found a package on my doorstep. No return address. Inside were photographs. Julie walking to her car. Julie at the grocery store. Julie at her apartment. Someone was following her. My phone rang. Victor Wellington. Nice pictures, don't you think, he said calmly. If you hurt her. Walk away, Blake. Resign from Aurora. Stop digging into my business. Or Julie Delpy disappears. Permanently. The line went dead. I met Julie at a safe house outside the city. An old cabin her journalist friend let us use. They're watching my apartment, she said, checking the windows for the 10th time. My office. Even my parents' house. Victor's getting desperate. Desperate men are dangerous men, Blake. She was right. But I was dangerous too. 3 weeks of warfare had changed me. I wasn't the same man who'd been fired from Wellington Tech. Julie, I found something at Aurora. Financial records that connect to Victor's shell companies. What kind of records? I pulled out a flash drive. Proof that Victor has been embezzling money from Aurora through fake contracts. If this gets out, it won't just destroy his company. It'll send him to federal prison. How did you get this? I hacked their financial system. Technically illegal, but so is everything Victor's done. Julie stared at the drive. This could end him completely. That's the idea. Blake, if we use this, there's no going back. Victor will try to kill us both. I thought about Lisa's betrayal. Damien's spoiled rage. Victor's threats against the only friend I had left. Julie, they already tried to kill who I used to be. Now they get to meet who I became. We planned the corporate coup like a military operation. Julie used her journalist contacts. I used my Aurora access codes. To get passwords. Locked me out of my own files. My phone rang. Victor Wellington again. You're predictable, Blake. Did you really think I wouldn't monitor Aurora's networks? The files are backed up. Are they? Check your apartment. I drove home to find my front door hanging open. Inside, everything was destroyed. Furniture overturned. Electronics smashed. My laptop was gone. My backup drives. Everything. But Victor had made one mistake. He didn't know about the third backup. The one I'd given Julie for safekeeping. You missed something, Victor, I said into the phone. Did I? Yeah. You forgot that smart people don't put all their eggs in one basket. The hacker who'd erased my files was a college kid named Tommy Lee. Damien had hired him for $5,000 to break into Aurora's network. Julie and I found him at a coffee shop downtown. Skinny kid with thick glasses and nervous energy. Look, man, I just needed the money, he said, stirring his third espresso. Student loans are killing me. We're not here to hurt you, Julie said gently. We're here to make you an offer. What kind of offer? I slid an envelope across the table. 10,000 cash. All you have to do is restore the files you erased. Tommy's eyes widened. I can't. Damien said he'd sue me if I talked to anyone. Damien's in jail, I pointed out. And we have evidence that you committed computer crimes for him. The kid's face went pale. Or, Julie added, you can help us expose the truth and get paid for doing the right thing. Tommy was quiet for a long time. Then he pulled out a small USB drive. I always keep backups, he whispered. Just in case. This has everything. All of Victor Wellington's dirty secrets. Why are you helping us? I asked. Because my dad's a veteran. And Victor Wellington sold weapons technology to our enemies. People like my dad died because of what he did. Lisa called me that night. Her voice was different. Scared. Vulnerable. Blake, can we meet? Please. There's something I need to tell you. We met at the park where we'd had our first picnic as a married couple. Lisa sat on our old bench, looking small and lost. Daddy's been controlling my life since I was a child, she said, tears in her eyes. Every decision. Every friend. Every relationship. Including our marriage. Especially our marriage. He chose you because he thought you were weak. Someone he could control. The words hurt, but they didn't surprise me. When you started getting strong, started fighting back, he panicked. That's why he made me destroy you. And you went along with it. I was scared, Blake. You don't know what he's capable of. What he's done to people who crossed him. She reached into her purse and pulled out a thick folder. This is everything. All his crimes. All his secrets. Enough to put him away forever. I stared at the folder. After weeks of searching, here was everything I needed. Why are you giving me this? Because I still love you. Because I want to be free of him. I reached for the folder. Her hand touched mine. That's when I noticed her other hand moving toward my jacket pocket. Toward the USB drive Tommy had given me. You're still working for him, I said. The Wellington Charity Gala was the perfect venue for our broadcast. 500 of the city's most powerful people. Live streaming to social media. News cameras everywhere. Julie posed as a reporter. I wore catering staff uniform. Tommy operated remotely from a van outside. As Victor took the stage to give his annual speech about civic responsibility, we struck. The main screens went black. Then they lit up with financial records. Bank statements. Evidence of corruption spanning decades. Ladies and gentlemen, Victor's voice echoed through the speakers, what you're seeing is the truth about the Wellington Empire. But it wasn't Victor speaking. It was me, broadcasting live from backstage. The crowd gasped as document after document appeared on screen. Military secrets sold to foreign agents. Politicians bought and paid for. Money laundered through fake charities. Victor tried to leave the stage, but reporters surrounded him. Questions flew like bullets. Mr. Wellington, is it true you sold classified weapons technology? Did you bribe Senator Hills to kill the defense spending bill? How much money have you stolen from your own shareholders? Victor clutched his chest. His face turned gray. He collapsed on stage as the world watched. Victor survived the heart attack, but his empire didn't. Stock prices crashed. Federal investigators froze all Wellington accounts. The family's political connections ran for cover. Lisa called me from the hospital. Daddy's in intensive care, she said, her voice hollow. The doctors don't know if he'll make it. I'm sorry, I said, and meant it. Damien's lost his mind. He blames you for everything. He's been drinking, making threats. Lisa, you need to stay away from him. He's my brother, Blake. He's all I have left. That night, I was working late at my apartment when I heard footsteps in the hallway. Heavy. Unsteady. Someone trying to be quiet and failing. The door exploded inward. Damien stood there, wild-eyed and drunk. In his hand was a gun. You stole my life, he screamed. My job. My family. Everything. Damien, put the gun down. You destroyed us. We were royalty in this city. Now we're nothing. He raised the weapon, his hand shaking. This is your fault. All of it. Behind him, I saw movement. Lisa appeared in the doorway. Damien, stop. The gun swung toward her. Time moved in slow motion. Damien's finger tightened on the trigger. Lisa lunged forward, trying to stop him. The gun fired. The bullet hit Lisa in the chest. She fell backward, blood spreading across her white dress. No! Damien screamed. I didn't mean. He dropped the gun and knelt beside his sister. Her breathing was shallow, labored. I called 911 while pressing my hands against her wound, trying to stop the bleeding. Stay with me, Lisa, I whispered. Her eyes found mine. Blake, I'm sorry. For everything. I only wanted to keep you safe. Safe from what? From him. From this family. I thought if I pushed you away, you'd be free. Tears mixed with blood on her pale cheeks. I loved you. I still love you. The paramedics arrived as she stopped breathing. Damien sat in the corner, rocking back and forth, covered in his sister's blood. I killed her, he kept saying. I killed my own sister. Police sirens filled the night. Through my apartment windows, I watched them surround the building. Damien didn't run. He just sat there, broken, waiting for them to come. The investigation was quick. Damien's fingerprints were on the gun. Security cameras caught him entering my building. Witnesses heard the shot. He confessed to everything. The bribery attempts. The computer hacking. The murder of his own sister. She tried to stop me, he told the police. Lisa tried to save him, and I killed her for it. Victor Wellington died 3 days later. The heart attack, combined with the stress of his empire's collapse, finished what corruption couldn't. The funeral was small. Just family, friends, employees who still believed in the Wellington name. I attended from a distance, watching Lisa's casket lowered into the ground. She was 28 years old. Beautiful. Brilliant. Destroyed by the poison of her family's legacy. After the service, I walked to her grave. Left a single white rose. "I forgive you," I whispered. "Rest in peace." Damien was sentenced to life without parole. Wellington Tech declared bankruptcy. The family fortune was seized by federal investigators. Aurora Innovations offered me permanent control of the CTO position. Stock options. A signing bonus that would make me wealthy beyond imagination. Everything I'd dreamed of was mine. But victory tasted like ashes. 6 months later, I stood before Aurora's entire staff to give my resignation speech. "I came to this company seeking justice," I said, looking out at hundreds of faces. I wanted revenge against people who had wronged me. The audience was silent, hanging on every word. I got my revenge. The Wellington family is destroyed. Their empire is gone. Their crimes are exposed. I paused, thinking of Lisa. Of Victor dying alone in a hospital bed. Of Damien spending his life in a prison cell. But justice isn't about destroying people. It's about building something better in their place. I handed my resignation letter to the CEO. Aurora Innovations is a good company with good people. You don't need someone consumed by revenge leading you into the future. As I walked through the lobby for the last time, employees shook my hand. Some thanked me for exposing the corruption that had infected their company. Julie was waiting outside, leaning against her car. "So what now?" she asked. "Now we start over. Build something new." We drove away from Aurora Tower together, leaving the past behind us. 3 years later, I was running a small tech startup focused on cybersecurity. We helped companies protect themselves from the kind of corruption that had destroyed the Wellingtons. It wasn't glamorous work. We'd never be as big as Aurora or Wellington Tech. But it was honest. Clean. Good. Julie had won a Pulitzer Prize for her investigation into Victor Wellington's crimes. Her articles had led to dozens of arrests, including 3 senators and a federal judge. "Justice served," she said, raising her coffee cup in a mock toast. "Justice served," I agreed.